Greetings, Exiles! Today I have for you the best version of Blade Vortex that you will ever see, one capable of blasting multiple screens worth of monsters in a flash. It's also fast, as we have heavily optimized this build for clearing, all that while having enough damage to deal with uber bosses. In this video, I will show you how the skill performs with ideal investment. We are good old Assassin, an Ascendancy that grants high damage and easy access to power charges. First we begin with Unstable Infusion. This node increases our maximum power charge count by 1 and gives us chance to generate power charges on hit, which is like all the time. From here we path to Deadly Infusion. This node further scales our global crit chance and crit multi with power charges. Next we take Mistwalker. This node grants us Elusive buff with 50% increased effect. Elusive grants us increased movement speed and chance to avoid all damage from hits after we crit something. It's the embodiment of hit and run tactic. Last but not least, we have Opportunistic. This node grants us 25% more damage against lonely, rare or unique enemies and minus 20% damage taken otherwise. It's pure damage boost against single bosses and the passive defensive layer while mapping. And that was it for our Ascendancy. Now let's take a look at our passive tree. Our tree focuses on power charges, spell damage, cast speed, crit chance and crit multi, area of effect and area damage, energy shield, and intelligence. Next we have two large cluster jewel setups. These only add small physical nodes and focuses on increasing their bonuses. They grants us energy shield, intelligence, and increase attack and cast speed with physical spells. Next we got one medium cluster jewel that adds the following AoE notables: Vast Power and Magnifier. Next for mastery choices, we have 8% increased damage per aura or herald affecting us, plus 25% to critical strike multiplier against unique enemies. Stun threshold is based on 60% of energy shield in a state of life, 100% increased energy shield from helms, 12% increased mana reservation efficiency, and 5% increased attributes. And that was it for our passive tree. Now let's talk about items. First we are dual wielding two void batteries as our main hand weapons. This one increases our power charge count by 1, global crit chance, and increases our spell damage per power charge we have. Pretty standard option for any power charge stacking build. Next we have Crown of the Inward Eye with +1 to maximum power charge corruption. Overall this is better than any mirror tier rare helm out there, especially if you consider the cost of crafting something that is better than this. Anyway, next we have a rare chest with elevated Explode Crusader mod. This is mandatory. Alongside it you want to get as many defensive mods as possible, like energy shield, resistances, and intelligence. Next we have a Precursor Emblem unique ring with +1 to maximum power charge mod. Usually that alone would be enough, but if possible you would want to get increased movement speed and or increased energy shield per power charge with it. This combination of mods together is expensive, hence instead of getting two of it, I decided to mirror the first ring with Calandra's Touch, as that was unironically cheaper. Our next item is a rare amulet with increased area of effect, increased area damage, dexterity, crit multi, and increase movement speed. To craft this I had to finish the prefixes first with a combination of an Awakener's Orb and an Asling Bench. Then I exalt spammed the suffixes until I had something good. If you feel intimidated from crafting, then feel free to use Replica Karui Ward instead. It's basically the same thing minus the suffixes. Anyway, don't forget to anoint your amulet with Enigmatic Reach for that extra area of effect boost with power charges. Anyway, our next item is Mage Blood. Believe me when I say this, I don't like using this item in any of my builds because it's expensive and makes people angry. However, Blade Vortex is a skill whose performance is tied directly with movement speed, as its blades have low duration, so instead of focusing on increasing it, we try to maximize the area we cover during its duration. And Mage Blood allows us to run speed flasks with doubled effect. Our next item is a pair of boots with movement speed, energy shield, tailwind, and intelligence. We craft the suffixes first with intelligence essences until we hit tailwind with them. Then we exalt spam the prefixes for movement speed and energy shield. Our last item here is a pair of energy shield gloves corrupted with vulnerability curse on hit. It's not going to be easy to find something like this, so I recommend you to just ignore the corruption and focus on the mods on the item instead. But with that we are done with our items. Now let's talk about gems that goes inside of them. For our main 6 link we have Val Blade Vortex, Awakened Brutality, Power Charge on Crit, Intensify, Empower, and Increase Critical Damage. Yes, we are running pure physical damage here. Anyway, next we have a 4 link aura setup. This one contains Pride, Discipline, Herald of Purity, and level 3 Enlighten. Next we got the second 4-link aura setup. This one contains Flesh and Stone, War Banner, Maim support, and another level 3 Enlighten gem. Make sure to leave Flesh and Stone on blood stance, otherwise it's completely useless. Last but not least, we have few leftover gems. These are level 1 Precision, level 1 Clarity, level 1 Vitality, and Steel Skin. Your remaining gem sockets can be used for whatever movement skill setup you like. Alright, now let's talk about jewels. For our Watcher's Eye, we have 40% faster start of energy shield recharge while affected by Discipline, and gain 10% of maximum mana as extra maximum energy shield while affected by Clarity. The first mod is mandatory while the second one is optional. Next we got one Militant Faith Timeless Jewel that mentions High Templar Dominus specifically. Place this one in this socket to maximize its effect. This jewel will convert all nearby keystones into Inner Conviction. Inner Conviction grants us 3% more spell damage per power charge we have. Any remaining jewel socket you have left should be filled with a normal rare jewel like this one. We are looking for energy shield and as many damage modifiers as possible. You can also get resistances or attributes if you still need them. Now for Bandit's quest, we are going to help Elira as usual. As for Pantheons, we got the Soul of the Brine King and the Soul of Aberrath. And that was it for our fastest Blade Vortex build in Path of Exile. If you guys have enjoyed this video, then feel free to leave a like and maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future build guide like this one. My name is Phoenix and I will see you all in the next video.